if AD looks like this.
Problem they've been having. AD quick move at the baseline. Throw it down, big fella.
Or this.
That full compliment back. Gabe Vincent is here. He's trying to get back in. Blocked twice. Not once, twice by Davis.
Or this.
Almost doubling the Lakers. AD's got another dunk underneath.
And I mean consistently. If we only see part-time Anthony freaking Davis and part-time Kwame Brown in the playoffs this year, and maybe only in the play-in, it'll be up to LeBron to backpack again. And guess what, people? LeBron is historic. Historically old. His usage rate and minutes should be way lower than they are. And if he's asked to carry this team in the playoffs again, bad things could happen. He could get hurt. He could gas out. He could get angry and trade the whole team away. So LeBron is the reliable contributor, and AD is what I like to call the X factor. But I want to talk about the rest of the roster, particularly the guys who will get decent playtime in this year's playoffs, or play-in, and why role players are such an integral part of any team's title hopes. Also, please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 200 subscribers before the playoffs start. I would really appreciate it, and it goes a long way to helping this channel grow. Let's go in order from biggest role to smallest. Austin Reeves is a guy that's showing a lot of promise. He's upped his scoring average this year to 16 points per game, and he's been a beacon of availability, playing in every single game this season. Reeves has a unique role on this team because they really expect him to do a little bit of everything. Make good shots, play solid perimeter defense, fill the gaping hole that Alex Caruso left. But most importantly, if the Lakers need him to make an ice-cold shot in the clutch, he delivers more often than not. And that's what the Lakers need the most, a closer. The Lakers don't even need Austin to be him this year. But if he is, I'm sure they're not going to complain. D'Angelo Russell can be a little Anthony Davis-ish at times, definitely not the most consistent player, but in all honesty, he's a solid offensive option. He's had flashes of brilliance during the season that make you remember the fact that he was once an all-star. But in order for the Lakers to do some damage in the playoffs this year, D'Lo is going to have to be a pretty consistent third option scorer. I'd say he needs to average over 18 points per game in order to fulfill his role, which just so happens to be his average on the season. Alright, now with D'Lo off the board, let's go to the next most important player on the roster. Rounding out the starting lineup, it's Rui Hachimura. It's hard putting a single label on Rui because he's not really a one-dimensional player. He's a large body that can defend both forwards pretty well. He's a solid offensive threat who can score efficiently when called upon, at least for the most part. He's a handsome guy with a funny name.
Rui Hachimura.
Hoochie Mama.
So just in order to save some effort on my part, we're just gonna call Rui the gadget guy. He basically just needs to be a serviceable contributor. Now at this point, it's time to take a look at the bench, and the Lakers have had injuries to role players throughout the year, so it's going to be pretty difficult to predict who's going to be getting minutes in the playoffs. I've narrowed it down to 5. It could be more, it could be less, but these 5 players, in my opinion, have earned the right to be in the Lakers playoff rotation. And we're gonna start with Spencer Dinwiddie. Dinwiddie is a player who I really liked when he was on the Nets. He was just a solid playmaker for that team, and now that he's been in the league for a while, he's what I like to call a savvy vet. Think Rajon Rondo in the Lakers' 2020 title campaign. That's not to say that he'll have the impact on the team that Rondo had, but he's a guy that can run the offense with or without LeBron on the court. Every contender should have that sort of depth at the playmaker position. Next is Taurean Prince, a player who used to be on the starting lineup, but got relegated to the bench in favor of Rui. Taurean's role should be primarily focused on defense, given the amount of scoring that the Lakers have at their disposal. He's one of the better perimeter defenders on this roster, and I would say that's one of the Lakers' glaring weaknesses. Jackson Hayes probably has my favorite role on the team. He's a giant athletic dude who plays with a ton of energy. His job is to grab boards, block shots, and catch lobs. And God forbid he takes a shot outside of 5 feet. If Jackson Hayes can rile up the crowd at home games, he's doing his job. Cam Reddish is someone I haven't seen much of lately, but has a pretty defined role on the team. He's a solid wing defender and a streaky at best shooter. If he gets minutes, he will get open looks from 3. It's just a matter of him knocking them down or not. Max Christie is a guy that usually gets most of his minutes in garbage time, but I think the Lakers will turn to him once or twice this postseason. Christie almost strikes me as a secret weapon, because I think if he's given the minutes, he could go out and give the Lakers a game that no one could expect. but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if he's not in the rotation. So there you have it. The Lakers can beat anyone if everyone does their job, and whether or not everyone is going to buy in and do their part remains to be seen. At this point, it's just a matter of the Lakers even making the playoffs. It's not guaranteed. But I wouldn't count this 9 seed out just yet.